What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome back to another Q-Tip Fridays. Every Friday, dropping gems with your boy Q Banks. You know what I'm saying? Just topics based on all kind of things. And today's topic is going to be called expensive. Question mark, question mark, question mark. As a question, like, it's expensive. Like, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? It's definitely mindset. It's definitely mindset. I feel like that's like the kind of mindset that a person has to have if they're willing to grow. You know, growth means that like you come across certain things in life that you might not understand at the moment, but at the same time you're open to it still. Which means that I try not to ever consider something expensive, but it's based on the product. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like I'll consider a $200 pen expensive. I'll consider, let's say, a piece of steak, like, god damn, like a piece of steak, let's say a $2,000 T-bone steak. That's pretty expensive, you know, like for, you know, like it's one of those things. A $500, which is kind of hard, a $500 Apple MacBook Pro, not expensive at all. You know what I'm saying? Highly doubt it, but very, very cheap. A $3,000 MacBook Pro, not expensive at all. Why? Because the value is there. What else? Let's say, $7,000 2021 sedan, not expensive. Why? Because you're pretty much comparing that with all other brands and that kind of stuff, and also pretty much seeing the value in that certain item to then not consider it as expensive anymore. A $10 million house, a $5 million car. Expensive, but I want to be open to it. So if I want to be open to something, I'll say I just can't afford it at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Which means that you're still open to that certain opportunity or that certain item or that certain product or that certain service, but at the moment it's just, you know, it's not really obtainable. But you still see value inside of it. You know what I'm saying? So if I come across any sort of let's say thing that I might be interested in, I never ever want to say expensive. Expensive means that you're crossing that off in your mind and now it's irrelevant because it's out of, you know, you can't really fathom that anymore. If you say you can't afford it, that means that, all right, cool. Like, I mean, I still have my eyes on it, but I had to just get my shit up and get up my income sources to pretty much be able to afford that. But when you consider it expensive, that's when you don't see the value inside that product. You know, you don't see the value that it might be bringing you just based off of how you're thinking about it and that kind of stuff. So like you already have like it's like there's already kind of like a prejudgment based off of that certain product when it comes to you trying to purchase that item. You know what I'm saying? This all kind of arises from like my mom had told me this like forever ago. She was like, yo, like never call anything expensive because you're kind of just taking yourself off the list. You can't see yourself having that. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't really see the value inside that. So when you say I can't afford it, that means that it's not leaving your sight. It's not leaving your vision board. It's not leaving, you know, how you might see things. Like it's still a possibility. You know what I'm saying? But it's just timing. Everything is timing. And I feel like once you're actually open with timing, you're actually going to be open with opportunity. And once you're open with opportunity, then you're open with the value that something can bring you, even if it might not be obtainable at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I come across new opportunities, I never turn them down. I try to actually explore them in some kind of way, even if you know, I can't fully see the value, but I see some sort of a benefit that it could benefit me in some kind of way, or just interest. You know what I'm saying? To even explore it, even if that product, you know, costs a couple $1,000s. Like for example, like Wall Street Academy, like it's my educational platform where I teach what I do, which is trading. You know, that's my platform. Some people consider it as expensive because they don't see the value side of it. They don't see how it could benefit them. They don't really understand the dynamics of that certain platform. So I get it. Cool. You know, which is perfectly fine. Wall Street Academy is $750. Is it expensive? I wouldn't say that. Why? Because there's value inside of it. And when something is valuable, like the expensive word can't really be put to that certain item or that certain service or that certain product. it can't be put to it because that value is being seen. You know what I'm saying? If someone doesn't see value in what you have going on or what you do, they're going to consider as your thing as expensive. You know what I'm saying? Even like, you know, throughout the years, like when Forever and Profit at first was $25, you know, people were still buying the product because we pretty much gave value. They still seen value for that certain product. When it was at $80, people were still buying it because they still seen value inside that certain product. When Forever and Profit was $250, they still purchased it because value was still being shown. And you're pretty much seeing how broad your value is based off of you increasing your price, which is kind of normal, honestly. Like when it comes for something being in demand, price has to be increased because, you know, it's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? $500, still purchased it because now the value is still being seen regardless of if it's $500, because a person can actually now make more than $500 even getting that certain product. Now the final price is at $750. People still purchase it. Why? Because I'm still giving value. I'm still having people that pretty much can purchase that certain course, and now they're making $500 a day, $1,000 a day, that kind of thing, or even more at times based on certain efforts and that kind of thing. So if you can't even get Wall Street Academy like right now, that's fine. That's cool. But don't call it expensive, because once you do, you know, you're not seeing the value from it, nor do you plan on exploring the value that's inside that certain product. You know, if you can't afford it, cool. Just get on your shit, get on your grind. And then as long as you're pretty much still seeing that value that could be there, that's just as worth it, honestly. And I feel like that's very, very important for like when it comes to growing as a person and growing into an adult and growing into the real world, which is, I consider the real world like outside of school, just pretty much you're in the open world. You're not pretty much, you know, on a certain curriculum and that kind of stuff. Like you're just open. You have to be able to pretty much be open to all kind of opportunities that you come across, but at the same time, like you never know which one is going to be yours and which one you're going to actually fall in love with and pretty much make a life from. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's very, very important to actually, you know, to just be open, not come across anything that might be too intimidating to even then call it expensive. Let's say, yo, I can't afford it at the moment. You know, because that's going to keep your mindset still focused on the bigger picture and still actually open to actually getting that certain product eventually, even though it might not be obtainable at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So just be open-minded. Try to actually not say the word expensive, because, you know, we're not about that. You know, expensive is only things for like, let's say a $300 pencil. Different, you know what I'm saying? I don't find a value inside a $300 pencil. You know, so once you're open to pretty much finding the value in something, that's when you can pretty much then, you know, make your judgment off that, on that certain item or product or service and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's pretty much my rant for this Tuesday Fridays. Hopefully everybody gains some value from it. You know what I'm saying? Take some notes, you know, take some notes or watch it back again. Do what you got to do. But at the same time, be open-minded. I'm trying to actually grow everybody's mindset when it comes to like my platform, so you guys can actually see how I see things and how actually, you know, focus on something and still get it done regardless of how complex or how, whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? Stay open-minded and pretty much keep on trying to grow as a person, as an individual, as, you know, mentally, spiritually, physically, everything. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be the ultimate you. So I'm holler at you guys next Friday. Peace out.